before. Next up, we need to talk about HyperEVM. That's where stuff gets a little bit more interesting in terms of features. So with HyperEVM, you can do a lot with your hype. So maybe you are familiar with this concept from Ethereum or Solana, where we have different DeFi apps where you can provide liquidity, where you can do like different styles of credits and borrowing. And that's basically what we also can do on HyperEVM. So right now, HyperEVM is supported by most wallets. You only need to have some hype for the gas. So that's also nice on HyperEVM, that all the hype that you use for gas is burned, but you of course need some hype, but it's not that much. So the average transaction is pretty cheap. And for the different EVM applications, we have a lot to discuss. I can't share all applications with you, but here's, I think, a good overview of what you can do on HyperEVM right now. You should be aware that this is changing quite fast. There's a lot of changes and innovation happening around HyperEVM. So that's just what I use. I would say at least once a week, not like every app I use every day. You don't need to use them every day, but like I think like once a week, I used most of the applications on here. So for landing, you have Hyperlend, Felix, and HyperFi. Basically, if you're familiar with Aave on Ethereum, it's the same. Like Hyperland is an Aave fork, basically. Felix and HyperFi operate a bit different. HyperFi has like an Euler license. So I don't want to get too much into detail, but usually you put your hype and borrow against it. Or if you have like Bitcoin or ETH, you can borrow against it on those applications and use the borrowed money to either buy other assets or earn some yield on the borrowed money. Like that, many cool DeFi strategies. For institutional assets, I would love to show with you Theo. It's quite a nice way if you're interested in getting T-bills on chain or also gold-backed stable coins. So there's Theo. For yield beyond that, we have Hyperbeat that offer different vault strategies for you. It's kind of automating DeFi for you, so you don't have to provide all on your own. So they kind of automate some stuff. Also, Harmonix, they do automated vaults, and Liminal, they help you with funding rate farming. There's been some, like I would say, discussions on how accurate the liminal data actually is. So you should be careful with that, but I still wanted to put it on here because it's a nice new approach to make it easier for people to farm the funding rates on Hyperliquid. So next up, we have liquid staking. So before, you learned that with native staking, you have the cool-off period of 7 days. Liquid staking fixes this for you. So you can just stake your hype for K-Hype, which is the liquid staking hype from Kinetiq, which is also by far the biggest liquid staking product on Hyperliquid and also the biggest HyperEVM product. So yeah, you get K-Hype for your hype and earn yield on the K-Hype. And also you can use the K-Hype on other DeFi apps. For example, you can borrow against it on Hyperland, for example, and make more from your money. You can do similar strategies with Volantis. Also, they have a nice liquid staking product. If you want to swap your hype for other tokens, which I wouldn't do, but you can do that, you can use Project X, HyperSwap, and if you want to just aggregate all the different DEXs on Hyperliquid, you should use liquid.ag. With those different AMMs, you get, basically a Uniswap on HyperEVM. So you can swap tokens for, like if you have Bitcoin or USDC, you want to swap it for Hype or whatever, you can do it on there. And you can also provide liquidity on Project X and HyperSwap to earn some APY. You should be aware that, of course, there is stuff like impermanent loss and other risks that are connected with those strategies. But if you are like a DeFi farmer, you should definitely check out those projects. For the NFT fans on here, you should check Drip Trade. That's where the NFT trading for Hyperliquid NFTs is happening. It's pretty much dead right now, to be honest. There's not much going on in NFTs on Hyperliquid, but I'm positive that this will come back once hype and like the overall crypto market is performing better. For options, we have Rysk and Derive. On Rysk, you can basically sell covered call options and cash secured puts. And on Derive, we have you can buy options, calls, and also puts on hype. And for privacy, we have Silhouette that shield your trading on Hyperliquid. I know this was a lot of talking, a lot of theory. If you want to get a deep dive of any of these apps, just put it in the comments and I can do like a special video showing how to use those kind of applications, but it would be way too much to like do a deep dive in every of the in all of those apps in just this video. But that's the HyperEVM overview in terms of what's out there. If you are not in this list, it doesn't mean that your product is bad. It just means that there are too much to share. So if you feel like I missed your product, also just comment it and maybe pitch why your product should be included in the next video. So we have seen some HyperEVM tokens. There was also a lot of speculation around HyperEVM airdrops. I also was one of the guys basically farming HyperEVM and in the hope that we would see some great airdrops from those HyperEVM projects. This didn't work out for the most part. Like Kinetiq was a good one, but besides that, just TGEs of those HyperEVM projects rather underperformed. And I think there are many reasons for that, but probably the main reason is that Hype itself is just a really, really good token with a great token model, which makes it hard for all the other projects that launch for people do not sell off the token that they get for the airdrop against Hype. So even Kinetiq, which is really a good product, got sold off pretty harshly on the airdrop. And yeah, we have seen the Hyperlend TGE. We've seen before that HyperSwap and other TGEs with Harmonix. All good products, great teams, but it's really hard for their tokens to perform well. So personally, I'm still bullish on Kinetiq, but to be honest, that's pretty much it in terms of HyperEVM token.